Hey guys, Rip the Rage here. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to a little video I want to make, just a quick video, talking about the new Overwatch patch notes. If you guys haven't heard, Overwatch, there's been a lot of stuff happening on the CTE. There's been some Bastion buffs, or not really buffs, but reworks. They've been talking about nerfing certain aspects of, I think Pharah was in the mix somewhere, or it may have just been Bastion, I'm not sure. But no, it was D.Va they were talking about. So basically, I just want to run through the patch notes real quick with you guys, a little short video, because I'm actually really excited. There's some stuff in here I did not know, or stuff that they changed after it was in the CTE. So everybody knew about certain changes in the CTE itself, but this is now the official patch that's going to change the entire game, so I wanted to run through it with you guys and see if there's anything I didn't recognize, anything they've added in since it's been on the CTE. So this is patch 1.8.0. It's a new patch for now live on Windows PCs, all the typical stuff. They added a server browser. I heard about this. I knew they were doing this, so I'm not too hyped about it, or not too shocked by it, but I am hyped about it. It is really cool. The server browser is currently being tested, so they're making changes to it through the PTR. So they're trying to kind of work it out. So it's cool because you can create whatever custom game modes you want in your browser. So I can start a game and make my games just like the Mayhem, or just only Reinhardt's, but Reinhardt's with no shields and only fire strikes, no hammer swinging abilities, stuff like this. Things that are able to do that, right? So, I can mess with the game and have fun with it, which is really cool. They're also adding Capture the Flag, which I don't think the Capture the Rooster event. They say the Capture the Rooster event has been, without a doubt, Overwatch's most popular brawl. Great. One problem with that. Junkrat Symmetra. Legit. All you have to do is pick Junkrat and Symmetra, and you win Capture the Flag, because you just put a trap on the point, and no one can ever get the point. Ever. They cannot take your flag. And it becomes this giant stalemate. And apparently they're adding it to arcade mode, which is cool. So we don't want the excitement to end. They're bringing the CTF to the arcade, which is cool. They have all 12 maps: Lijiang Tower, Ilios, Oasis, Nepal. All the typical capture or King of the Hill maps are now they're being capture the flagged, basically. They're being reworked. And I got a small rework here with nano boost sensitivity. I don't know how that's going to affect the game with nano boost sensitivity. I guess maybe it's a different targeting thing than actually aiming. I don't know. But this is what I'm really excited about. So Bastion got a lot of reworking in the CTE lately. So his configuration, his official configuration now with the patch, right, is with developer comments here. They say the goal of these changes is to move some of Bastion's power from configuration sentry to recon, while keeping its sentry mode a strong option, especially versus tanks and barriers. Overall, Bastion should feel stronger and more flexible. See, that was the problem with Bastion, was he was always being in lockdown position, and he couldn't really do much. He could repair himself, but only if he wasn't taking damage. So the second he took damage, he'd have to get up, go around the corner, repair, come back. By that time, the payload's been pushed a little bit, and not that Bastion was bad. Bastion was hella good. And he just melts everyone everywhere and does not give a fuck. But I do feel like he did need to be reworked, buffed in some areas, nerfed in others. So let's see what they do. So the sentry configuration. So when in sentry mode, this is directly affecting his sentry mode. So in his deploy time has gone from 1.5 to 1, which is a good change. I always felt like it took a little too long. I think the whole spinning around thing of where he plants himself and then does a full 360-degree turn as he pulls his cannon out, I felt that was a little stupid, because it's that half second that gets you killed. But, that's fine. The bullet spread has been increased by 50%, which I don't know how I feel about that, but again, it's Bastion, so he kind of had really tight bullet spread to begin with. Plus, it's Overwatch on PC. It's not hard to aim with, and it's not hard to really aim, and especially with Bastion. Bastion's one of the easiest characters to aim with, aside from, like, Junkrat, because you just bounces bombs everywhere. So let's see, we got bullet spread is always at its maximum, so it will not increase as the weapon is fired. So the maximum has been increased to 50%. So think of it like this. Here is his maximum spreads. Here's how it used to be. Here was spread size, right? Here's where it started, and then here's where the maximum would be. So as you fire, it would achieve the maximum. But now it's always at maximum, so it stays at this constant rate, and it just stays there. It doesn't get any bigger, it doesn't get any smaller, doesn't do any of that. They added, apparently you get 300 more rounds now in sentry mode, which is great, because I always felt like you couldn't, it was always those few extra bullets that while you're reloading, the Reinhardt has a chance to sling a fire strike at you and do some major damage. Which, is always annoying because you're supposed to be the tank buster. And maybe he's got too many rounds now, but he also has more spread, so he probably won't be as effective at longer ranges. So it'll be more close range engagements and choke points, which is exactly what Bastion should have been all along. This is the part that gets me excited. Headshot damage multiplier has been removed. No more critical damage for Bastion. He will no longer hit you in the head and do extra damage. It's a solid cross the board. Damage is damage, no more crits. And that was the one problem with Bastion that really caused problems with melting people. Was he supposed to do damage? Yes, he was. But he did too much, and it's because of the crit. He did it. It's not the amount of damage he was doing. It was how fast he was doing it. There was no time to react, unless you were Genji and happened to pop the reflect, but then all he do is wait you out and then spray all over the place and kill you. So that's it. Good. We're done with Bastion getting crit shots. So we're done with that. Moving on to Recon Mode. Recon Mode, the bullet spread has been decreased by 25%. So they're aiming to make Bastion more mobile and encouraging it, because I always felt like for some reason his rifle was way inaccurate when spraying. I mean, even all up close on somebody, like without barrel stuffing, but not medium range, but short range, but not like barrel stuff range, not like right here, but like right here. So it always felt kind of wonky and didn't fire right. They gave him 5 more bullets in the mag for Recon Mode, and they decreased the spread. So they're encouraging the Recon Mode while downplaying the Sentry Mode just a little bit. But Sentry Mode is still there. Sentry Mode is the option for taking out tanks. Recon Mode, the option for moving around the map and getting into position. And while you're doing that or chasing someone down, you're going to have an easier time of doing that, which is good. So he can now self-repair while moving. So this is what I was talking about earlier with having to go around the corner and self-repair. So you can do that. It's now bound to secondary fire, but I've got it set differently. I've already set to secondary fire. Any Overwatch player worth their salt knows to bind any key. If your character does not have an alternate fire, use that button. Okay, bind your right click to an ability because it's so much easier. Let's see. So it's no longer interrupted by taking damage. So he can technically. I foresee this as possibly you could have a Zenyatta leave an orb on a Bastion to watch his back the entire game. And whenever Bastion's in trouble, the orb will provide that little extra of health, and he's repairing himself at the same time. So together, it could cause some massive healing for him and keep him alive in those close quarters. Oh shit, somebody found my turret spot, and I gotta get up and get back to my team real quick, and it might save him that. And but however, it's not just gonna be all fun and games for Bastion. They've added a new resource meter that depletes while the self-repair is active and recharges when not in use. So we're talking like D.Va's Defense Matrix. They pretty much copied D.Va's Defense Matrix into his self-repair. So you only have a limited amount of time that you can do that. So you can't infinitely repair, but it's an ass-saving maneuver. You're able to repair a little bit while getting back to your team. The goal is to, if you're getting hit, you need to get up, repair as you're running away to your team. So that's new for that. So let's see, the configuration for tank mode no longer gives him bonus armor. So every time you see Bastion, he usually has 300, health, 100 of it being armor. Well, he actually gets 100 armor, or he used to get 100 armor when going into his ult mode, which was his tank. And whenever he turned into that mode, it's basically kind of like when Winston goes into his rage mode, when he goes into his what do they call that? My buddy Happy always referred to it as unleashing the fleas, so I don't know. But yeah, when Winston went into rage mode, he would also gain a lot of health. Like, I'm talking, he would go up to 1,000 health. Made him very hard to kill unless you had a Bastion or something with a lot of damage. So yeah, that's good because it means you don't have to be afraid of him, and they're not going to be using the single ult they're not going to be single ulting people to get that extra health to get away. But Bastion also has a brand new passive, which is kind of interesting. It's called Ironclad, and he takes 35% less damage while in Sentry or Tank mode. So while they're encouraging more Recon mode, they're saying, okay, well, the Sentry mode, if we're going to start limiting the self-repair, right, we're going to say, okay, it's kind of an up and down, it's a roller coaster with Bastion's tweaking. And he'll take less damage in Sentry mode, which means that in Sentry mode, you will automatically get a damage reduction buff. So it's almost, actually, that reduction, that's almost as good as Ana's Nano Boost. It's off by 15%, so it's almost as good as Nano Boost damage reduction. So that should help Bastion. So that's it for Bastion. We're moving on to D.Va. D.Va got a defense matrix renerf, apparently. I did not hear about this. Enemy shots no longer need to travel a minimum distance before they can be blocked. So according to this, previously there was a minimum distance a projectile had to travel before it could be destroyed by a defense matrix. This made it nearly worthless in situations where an enemy was right next to your teammate, such as when Roadhog hooks your ally. This change removes that restriction, so defense matrix should now reliably destroy projectiles regardless of how far. So basically, barrel stuff range is not a factor for D.Va's defense matrix anymore, which kind of pisses me off because a lot of D.Vas. Whenever I see D.Va, it's just like, good God, kill me. It was worse on console. I'm not experiencing it much on PC because I don't know if it's just people are just potatoes because I had to start completely over, so I'm technically low level right now. But now that I'm on PC, it's like D.Va's a little easier to deal with. I don't know if maybe it's just because of the way console handles or what. But now we're going to Mei. Mei's Cryo Freeze has been reworked, apparently. I think I heard about this one. She can now be targeted by allies while in Cryo Freeze. So if Mei is like on one little sliver of health, like 1 HP, and she quickly hits her Cryo Freeze, she's in Cryo Freeze, and it's not going to get her up all the way, though. She's still going to come out, and the whole enemy team's looking at her. Mercy can jump in, or Zen can jump in with a single-shot heal, or Ana can jump in and start healing her through the ice block. Which would be really, really cool. Or she gets in it, and Lucio drops, he breaks it down, and she's in the ice block the second he does that, so it doesn't count. It didn't used to count for her, now it will. So I think that's an interesting change for Mei. I think it could bring her back into the Mei-ta. I know, my joke's terrible. Moving on. With Mercy, her Resurrect. This one I heard of, and this one I said, oh my god, what is this? So she is, while performing a resurrection, Mercy now becomes temporarily invulnerable along with the allies. So they basically made it like, yeah, no. Mercy's just like, hey, res the whole team, fuck you guys, and you can't kill me. So the healer's gonna be there right alongside as the team gets up. So the second the team is ready to fight, she's ready to heal. And, you can't attack her until they're back up. So it gives them a fighting chance, which is fair. I've seen a lot of Mercies go down trying to get reses. And the res is pretty pointless if the healer dies and there's the only healer there. So we got the Caduceus Staff. Zenyatta can no longer be targeted when Transcendence is active, so I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know why that would be a thing. He's already invulnerable, so what's the point of... I guess they did that because too many people were, like, accidentally grabbing Zen in the middle of that, trying to get to another teammate, so I don't know. So for a new hero option, we have Guardian Angel sensitivity and Beam sensitivity. So we can actually tweak some more stuff. So a lot more tweaks going in really. So they said Mercy's Resurrect has always been very powerful, but it often forces her to sacrifice herself to use it well. I think that was the point of Mercy's Res, is it's super strong, but you have to be willing to die for the team. But, that's my personal opinion. These are the devs talking here, and they know the game better than I do. There have been changes in the past that attempted to help her in this area, but haven't done enough to solve it. This change means that once she uses the ability, she will always survive long enough to be with her team again. So you may be able to DPS her down the second she's vulnerable again, but it's not going to be until the team's ready. So if you kill her, it's going to be because of skill, not because she's alone during the res, and everyone can just DPS her down. So Roadhog really got something new. So the spread decrease on the scrap gun. So the spread of the scrap gun has been decreased. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting some weird-ass pop shots on people. And this was before patch. Before patch, I've been playing PC Overwatch, and I've been doing the right-click where all of the damage is concealed into one ball that just goes in a straight shot. I've been getting some pretty good headshots on people, and they're surprising as all hell. But apparently, they're decreasing the spread on the scrap gun. So that's pretty cool, because I feel like Roadhog's out of the meta, and I'd like to see him get back in there, because it's a cool character, and I feel like he can be more useful if people had a little more of a helping hand. So we got targets are now pulled, this is with the hook. The hook now pulls targets to a location 3.5 meters away, up from 2 meters. So this one, targets are now pulled to a location 3.5 meters away. They bumped it up from 2 meters. So they used to be all up in his face, and they're moving it back because what used to happen is that after Hook 2.0, people were getting a lot of one-shot headshots on people because you would just hook, pull them, and then they'd be right here, and you would just, boom, dead. It would always hit their head because it's such a small area, but I guess moving it back and giving him, that's why they're doing the spread decrease, because they want to move it back to give people more of a chance, but at the same time, they don't want to fuck over the Roadhog players. Also, the cooldown has been increased on the hook from 6 to 8. I think that's going to fuck Roadhog up a bit. I think that might make him a little shit, but with the spread decrease, it should be fine. Because he can do more DPS rather than just hooking and getting people. The Roadhog changes overall reduce the power of his hook a bit, but his gun is now more effective when not using the hook. Right, so they're encouraging people to shoot at range rather than try and hook and then go for the combo. So we got Sombra got a new hack sensitivity. That's a new option for her. Torbjorn's Rivet Gun. Ammo is now loaded earlier in the reload animation. So Torbjorn could animation cancel. We could be seeing a Torbjorn animation cancel. That's possibly a thing. Widowmaker's grappling hook sensitivity now has its own option. Zarya's projected barriers now its own sensitivity options. Zenyatta's orbs now have sensitivity, which I don't know how that's going to work. I can't really visualize what that's going to be like. So I don't know. So they've done map balance changes. This is cool because it's one thing to change a character's abilities. It's another thing to change the map. So map balance changes. A second gate no longer closes after the payload passes through the castle doors. Instead, rubble from the damaged door partially blocks the entrance. Once the offense team gets through the door, through the castle entrance, my bad, the map becomes very heavily stacked in the defense's favor, right? Because you just have basically the 2 choke points, and it's super easy to hold on Eichenwald when you're on defense. This change will give the offense more options, which should improve the map. Now, I'd like to see them do something like that to Volshaka Industries, but I'll get on that in a different video. So they got some general bug fixes. Fix this bug, fix that bug. Little things that I guess I never experienced. I don't know. Fixed a bug preventing 60 seconds remaining and 30 seconds remaining voice lines from playing during the second round of a match. That's for competitive. Heroes, apparently, they fixed a bug preventing Tracer's clock's ticking spray from matching the thumbnail in the hero gallery. Little stuff like this. And apparently there was a bug on maps. Torbjorn can now construct turrets on the stairs in Oasis. Oh, that's good. I didn't know that was a bug. And they fixed an issue that caused highlight intros to clip into the roof of a building on Lijiang Tower. Weird. I didn't see, these are bugs I never heard of. But yeah, I'm excited to go in and play some Bastion now, just to see what it's like. That and the new Roadhog. I love me some Roadhog. Oh god, Roadhog's so fun. But that is the patch notes, or that was the patch notes for Overwatch 1.8.0. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like these changes? Do you not like these changes? Is there something you would change about the game if you could? If I could change something, I would take D.Va's health back down to 500, because she's dealable right now, but damn, you need to take her health down, because there are times when she just won't get out of the mech and she just won't die, and it's so annoying. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then do the usual. Like, subscribe, check out my streams, go play the new Bastion, and I will see you guys in the next video. Reaper the Rager, signing off.